moment on this conference that I went for in Nairobi, when the South African Minister of Transport stood up in the gathering where there are political parties from all over the world, and he said to me, he said, I want to applaud Liberia because your election was so tight, hotly contested, and President Bouakai only defeated President Weah less than 30,000 votes. And yet, President Weah conceded. He said, you people should continue that democracy. I was proud. I'm going to say anyway, therefore, President, we have to concede and keep our democracy on the path it is. It's something, of course, I'm proud of, and I'm happy he did that. I would praise him any day for that, because not many Africans can do that. Look, let's stop all these political norms. When people do something good, praise them. He could have stayed in power like other people. Yes, he could have done that. When President Bouakai
Welcome to all. As usual, we ask that you kindly do us a favor, and that favor we require from all of you is to hit for us the share button as we bring you the necessary information that we are supposed to bring you. So again, hit for us the share button. Let's do this together and let's have a wonderful time.
Superfluid energy with our DSG and Prince Sharif and all of the well-meaning institutions across the country. The Unity Party is a history. Antiquated ideas that were demonstrated by Madam Salif are the same in this contemporary time. And it does not work. It does not work.
Maybe replace Boyka or everybody will go.
But look, the president I've ever seen is Jamaican. Let's contextualize this argument. When Madam Juba Howard Taylor and the MPP collaborated with the Congress for Democratic Change, we begin.
So hit for us the share button. Just share with friends, share with family members as we get ready to also bring you what we are supposed to bring you. So again, hit for us the share button. Share with friends, with family members.
We want to encourage those.
Welcome to all of you.
Lack of real momentum is a different kind of momentum. Our scenario is scenario. So we are here today, on the redemption hour where we decipher the lies, we include their dishonesty and name and shame them for bad governance, corruption, maize rule, the raping of our justice system, the colossal stealing and mass looting of the state resources by Mr. Joseph Bouakai and his group of plutocrats. So, Mr. Prince Sharif, I'm glad to be here today, and I can't wait to get the show started. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dobayu. I want us to just use maybe
of CDC base suggests that the only battle CDC has in 2029 is the first-time voter, and of course, history and precedent has said that we have done extremely well with first-time voters. So what you see happening right, it puts you at an absolute advantage. It gives you an absolute advantage. And it just tells you that if Liberians are happy in Monrovia for CDC return, they're happy in Europe, they're happy in America. So that just everywhere in Liberia, that is the new mindset, that is the enthusiasm of the Liberian people. And that's a positive signal for the CDC.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dobayu, to just add my take to this, fellow Liberians. All of us know the very, very pivotal role that Liberians in the diaspora play to our economy, on their own family, and on the decisions that are made in Liberia. You cannot divulge our own economic power from what is happening in Liberia. In fact, as you may be aware, Liberians that are in the diaspora contribute meaningfully towards even the budget with their remittance, and to ensure that the economy is in a very good state. Now, these people in the diaspora, they also play a very significant role, Liberians. And this is one of the reasons why you people, we should wake up. This is why we should wake up. This is why we continue to say that Mr. Boyka is not an option for a better Liberia. That this government is not an option for a better Liberia. Look at how they are proceeding. Look at how they are proceeding. The last time they were here, right in the USA, they came for this business summit, a business whatever it was, in Texas. Sierra Leone, Mandabio, he came for the same program, walk away with some $400 million plus, along with some other investors, to Sierra Leone. While Liberia, you had nothing. Absolutely nothing. All of the conferences that Mr. Boyka have attended, people go there and they come with results. They come with tangible. But Boyka goes there and comes with nothing. Honorable Dogbayu, in order for us to be able to round this up and go out to the next talking point, what you think is the issue here? That Boyka continue to be a disappointment in areas, in places, in conferences that others will be able to attract, good news from. When we go there, it is nothing for us. What do you think is really the problem? What do you think is the problem?
The problem is exactly what you love about me. When I tell you Craig can't donate blood, the man only gives what he has. Mr. Boyka has no vision. Now you're expecting him to give vision. That's just service to Mr. Boyka. Craig doesn't donate blood. Craig always give what he has. So when you somewhere and your blood thinning, they say you come and die, and Craig is your neighbor, just know you will die because he doesn't have blood. It's not like me, but he doesn't have blood. He will not.
All right, so fellow Liberians, home and abroad, it's a privilege again for us to be on here. And we are so grateful that we have this particular option to be in front of you presenting what we are supposed to present. So as usual, we ask that you do us one favor. And that one favor that we require you to do for us is hit for us the share button. Share with as many persons as you can share with as possible. And let's get together and do this. Let's do this together. Yeah, let's do this together. So we are also sharing. So while we are sharing, we will bring you some stuff here. While we are sharing, we'll bring you some information here.
I was on record in sometimes you got to think. You see our friends every time and the year. And I want the children to know. We're not encouraged because our children need to be changed. We are very sympathetic to them, that is good. But we also have to make them learn. They see every time we come to the gathering, they put themselves in group and they call themselves Zogos. They give themselves name, they sing for you to give them cash. We need to stop all this so the children can be serious. So they can be serious. You cannot label yourself and you're doing things that everybody has to be home. You gotta go to your parents. You gotta help yourself. If I will help you to give you money when you see me in the street, that money should go to buying copybook and pen or buying food, not to go buy drinks. So you parents, we have a responsibility to make sure that we don't groom the children into being lazy. You see, my experience living Liberia to Cameroon, from Cameroon to Abidjan back to Cameroon to Europe, it was not a smooth ride. It was very difficult. And they all know that in life you have to struggle. What struggle in life is to prepare yourself. So tomorrow, I remember my first job. I was working at Liberia Telecommunication, $50. some of the money that I was making while I was working in the switch board department. And the only reason I took that job because I wanted to leave the streets. To find something to do. Our children need to leave the streets. They even need to agree to work, to go to school and learn skills and work. We need to encourage them. And you see the children coming in tons, 1,500, and they're holding placards and they are recording a Zogo. No, these are not Zogos. These are future leaders of our country. We call them Zogo. You understand? Yeah, most of them make mistakes in life. But to find something to do. Our children need to leave the streets. They even need to agree to work, to go to school and learn skills and work. We need to encourage them. And you see the children coming in tons, 1,500, and they're holding placards and they are recording a Zogo. No, these are not Zogos. These are future leaders of our country. We call them Zogo. You understand? Yeah, most of them make mistakes in life, but we have to fight to change that. But to change that, themselves have to make that change. You look at our country that is developed today, you know why? Because all of us decide to make that change with our international partner. Every time we go away, we let our people know that our people need roads, they need free education, they need this, to talk to them. So let us make sure parents advise the children to leave the street. Do not let your child go astray. Don't be tired, because some of us will get some first stage children in our family. I can all do it, but you can hold your ear. I grew up with a grandmother. My ear not cut, it would never cut. You understand? I live in the West Ghetto in Liberia, Shaolin. But I am a good man. So Shaolin did not take me away. But I went to Shaolin all the time. One day I decided I'm not going to Shaolin anymore. You know what I did? Now I tried to change the Shaolin. I remember I joined the CID. Then the street man became the officer to arrest those people that to Shaolin. So that's my experience. Marijuana, I was on record in Gibraltar, in that church. I was the arresting officer of marijuana because I knew that marijuana was bad. So I was the one that arrested the opium from the church in Gibraltar when I was working as an informer and carrying bash. Because I wanted to clean that community. If I didn't want to clean a community, I want to say, well, no problem, we'll do it. So sometimes you can change, because I knew the right thing was to make sure that if that marijuana get into our community, most of our young children will be spoiled. So you see, from the substance abuser to the cop. And today I'm standing here as your president. Don't you want to be president of Liberia? Eh? You don't want to be president? You don't want to be a lawmaker? You don't want to be successful? But then you need to stop what you're doing. To be successful, you need to be prepared, and you need to exert yourself. You need to do the right thing. No one does the wrong thing and they are successful. And if they did the wrong thing, it will not be long. So, going forward from here, please. We saw your drama, we heard it. Don't let your friend fool you again. The Jamaica Z, you just name it. Let me look at our retina now. Jamaica Z.
So, fellow Liberians, home and abroad, it's a privilege again for us to be on here. And we want to use this occasion to welcome each and every one of you. We want to say thank you so much for your continuous support to what we do here. As usual, we ask that you tag somebody, get involved in the conversation. Let's do this together. I know sometimes it is not easy, but again, with you on our side, with you by us, we know we can definitely do it together. So please, let's do it together. Let's get this done. I played you a video earlier, and that particular video has to do with President Weah speaking to our disadvantaged youth, the young people who in Liberia, the system referred to as Zogos. You listening to what President Weah said in the video. Advise all of us not to refer to these people as Zogo. The reason why they are in such a position, it is not something of their own volition. You see, we will continue to play the voices of His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah on different occasions. We will continue to bring you recordings of President George Manneh Weah. And the reason why we're bringing you these recordings is so that you can do your own comparative analysis of who loves his people, who is more concerned about the people, whose paramount objective is the people well-being, who concerned about the people. That's why we'll continue to bring you these videos. We will continue to come here and provide the information on how you, Liberians, you were lied to by a few group of people who said they are the rescuer. Will not stop exposing them. One of the things that these people who refer to themselves as rescuers said during the regime of President Weah was that the young people have no job. They use the name of the young people, young people, young people, young people. And they coined a particular word that we are coming to rescue. We are coming to rescue. My question to you is, what are the mechanisms put in place after 3 years to rescue your people? No. Let's take our own time and ask the sincere questions. We did not coin the war for you. There are certain names that are placed on people based on your characteristics, based on what people know you for. And there are certain names that when you claim upon yourself, it means that you know that you are competent, able, and have the capacity to deliver. That's why you name yourself the way you name yourself. For example, if I look at myself and call myself Money Man, just for example, I gave myself a name in the community. I say I'm the Money Man. It means that over the period, I myself have looked at myself, know very well that I get money, that why I take that name, I put it on myself. If people look at me and call me Money Man, it means the intervention that I have made in their lives. I may not be the money man, right? I may not be that money man, but because of the intervention that I have made in people's life, I want to welcome my brother Roosevelt Krumah. P. Morgan, you are welcome. Cinco Governor, you are welcome. All of you are highly welcome. Venetia's Junior Bar, how are you, Chief? We'll talk today. So, based on the kind of intervention that I have made in people's life, they look at me and say, oh, money man or good man or chief advisor. But when I take that name and give it to myself, it means that I am convinced from all indication that this is my passion. This is what I'm capable of doing. Sometimes people can label you or put you in certain category that you yourself, you are not, comfortable with. But they put you in that category based on your intervention that you have made in their lives, based on the way you carry yourself. So these people, these criminals, refer to themselves as rescuers, that they've come to rescue. Now, let's look at the rescuers and ask ourselves, what have they been able to do in order to rescue us, the Liberian people? What intervention have they made as far as we are concerned to rescue our lives? Let's ask ourselves these questions. Ask yourself. Let's look at the issue of youth empowerment, youth employment. So what intervention have they made in youth empowerment and youth employment? These were the people who told us that they were coming to ensure that the young people are liberated in terms of job and etc. Today, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? We are in a system where the young people continue to be abused by the same old people who are in power. You know their records. Their records are there. We are not making it up. This is their records. These are people who gave us arm and ammunition to destroy our lives. These were the people who introduced us to drugs. These were the people who introduced us to violence. I remember growing up back in the 80s as, a young boy, as a child. We even used to be afraid to take our share and walk on the road. In our old looking area, we were afraid. They had a police station in our place there. We used to be afraid to take out our share. Our share, to just take out our share and walk. We used to be afraid. I remember those days. Oh no! When you even hear, in fact, we hardly used to see people smoking cigarettes. We hardly used to see it. It is not that they were not selling it; they were selling it. There were people who were smoking it. But the thing is, people who were smoking these things, they were even hard themselves. They were hard themselves. It was not the best, but we had at least a system that we're building on. These people were the one who, because they were dissatisfied and felt that this countryman called Samuel Kanyondo should not be president, so they brought the war and they introduced these things to us. So today our children are involved with drugs, our children are involved with prostitution, etc., etc. Who are the cause? These are the people who today you gave them power, are the same people they cause. You think they've come back? You think what they will do? They will do double. Why you think there is an increase in children, in young people involved in prostitution, involved in drugs under this regime? That's why they know best. The mindset of these people is that the more we can get these young people into behavior that will take them away, their minds away, that will take their pride and their prestige away, then we can control them. They do not believe in your empowerment. You listening to what President Weah said. Before we welcome our brother, let me just play this again for you to hear for yourself. Listen to what President Weah said about these young people. Listen to what.
See that everybody has to be home. You gotta go to your parents. You are valuable and you are all leaders. sometimes you got to think.
Yeah. Even though we refer to them, the Unity Party gave them drugs, gave them arms, and refer to them as Zogo. But President, we are listening to him. He said, you are valuable. We are all leaders. He put himself in their shoes. He used a practical example to tell them that, look, this is not your life. But today, guess what happened? The Unity Party is exploiting the condition. The Unity Party is opening doors to bring more drugs in our nation. Fellow Liberians, we are grateful to have with us our brother, Jake. Brother Jake, how are you, sir?
Yes, salute, Prince, and respect mostly to our followers. Respect to the follower always. Yeah, man, okay, but Prince, you nailed it. You nailed it. Your intro, and you recognize the late Samuel Doe. You're right. You're right. They just, you're right, man. They won't allow the common people at the reality. We're seeing it playing on now. Our Georgia is the biggest obstacle to these guys. To this, but when you know what they baffle me, let
No.
me go there. But you know that native bunch of people children in power too. If you look at that whole surrogate, let's name them. But they acting like they acting like they elite. They acting like they go to that high institute of learning like America and other places. But if you look at them, there's some native people children. I can name thousands of, I can name many of them in a Burger administration. Why are they taking that so extra? They were the same people. I mean, we're not go there. They were the same people used to condemn the so-called Congo people. Can you imagine? Look at our host, the legislature. Who follow in that legislature? You not be fair here to the discussion. Who follow that legislature? So native people children. They follow that host. They speak on it. All of them. They gabble all of them in our hand. But what the whole legislature doing with the Liberian people? Eh? You think when our Congo people, a lot of Congo people in our legislature govern the way we govern now. They govern now. What do we say? So native people children, but they believe the elite. That's a difference. But as soon native people children, whether they never used to eat breakfast, that's some of us. A reality. They came from the slum. Look at the hierarchy of the executive branch of government. Name them. Name them. But on different partner, they won't consider the common people. That's a problem in the country.
You know, Jake, you are 100% right. But you know what I look at?
Mm-mm.
It is not about who they are. It's about the mindset. To me, I might be wrong, but I think that is it. Because like you said, you are right. These are the people who should be pushing the people's agenda.
Exactly.
These are the people who should be talking for their people. To see a man like Abraham Darrell Delon to go in studio and say, we'll break it.
Yes.
To see people who today have been given an opportunity to lead in these positions, that they are not talking for their people. These people did not go to grab this land. So you are right. It's about the mentality. The mentality that these guys have gotten. They may be John, they may be Flomoku, they may be Johnson, whoever they may be. But the mindset is that, you know what happened? We get the money now. So let's keep these people in abject poverty so we can also be their bosses.
Yes.
That is it. That is the mindset of the Unity Party. That is the Unity Party. No, the Unity Party must even have a Flomoku as the head. But that ideology that you must enrich the few and keep the majority under abject poverty, you must ensure that the few get enough while the majority get nothing. You must ensure that the few are well positioned politically, economically, socially, whatever way, and that the majority continue to look up to you. That is it. And as it relates to the CDC is that, look, let's empower our people. Let us put them at the level where the men who at least is in that zing round can be able to afford to send his son or daughter to school or his children to school, like the men who living up Mamba Point. So the CDC agenda is that let's empower the masses, because when we empower our people, it is development. Somebody once told me, you can be in a community as a very wealthy man, living among a bunch of poor people. you are not safe. You are not safe. If these people are not in power, if these people cannot afford, you are the target for them. They will always come and beg you. They will look at you to be like almost like their enemy. They will hate you for nothing. For nothing, they will hate you. When you do things even unknowingly to yourself, they will feel that, oh, what I think he is. Maybe you wake up in the morning and just decide to be yourself. You leave from your fence, drive in your car, and move out. The first thing they will say, I'm proud. What they make and walk also. So the thing is, when you empower yourself in the midst of poverty, leaving the majority to be poor, you put yourself at risk. You are putting yourself at risk. And that is why we continue to say, my brother, our nation is risky. It is risky in our nation.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question quick,
Yeah.
Let me ask you. But you see, the so-called elite, the native people children that we're discussing now, like us. But George King, when I see background, but he became a multi-millionaire at a very early age. But he never had the same mindset. He came to the Western World, Monte Carlo, all these places. He dined and wine in the finest restaurant in Paris, every places. He friended with top people. But why? He not have that same mindset that these guys have today. Okay, I'm up there now, I'm a multi-millionaire. I will not come down to my people. But the guys are generating money now. Also, those are in power right now. The native people children are in power. If you look at the whole government, that's just native people children. The Jeremiah Pia there, the acting there, the Sandro Johnson there, the Kula Fufana there that came from Grand Caymon. If you look at the whole hierarchy of the executive branch of government, even the legislature, all of them, the native people children, they know the suffering of that nation. They know how the country people went on hardship in that country. Then they see that brother then Ryan Pippin to get a daily bread. They bringing serious law. They coming to face the country overnight. All is problem. Like it coming fair overnight. The water king. The people cajole the Liberian people, play on the Liberian people, and we took out our own. The late Samuel Dome, so rest in peace. The lie in the King Corridor of Washington, D.C., that the man was a dictator. He was this, he was that. The most corrupt man. Today, they brought our civil war. Just as he said, they brought all type of things. They engulfed the whole nation. They play on the credibility of the society before that ugly civil war, where over 250,000 Liberians lose their life. We check on that war was lie. That war was lie. It based on propaganda. Imagine at that time. There were no social media at that time. But still when people buy it. That's and Prince, the team play out in recent time with George Weah. It play out because Georgia have a peaceful nature that country never went to war. But they wanted to put the country to war, to tell you the truth. They wanted to put that country to war. They sing him, they play on Samuel Doe, they play in the Georgia era. At that time of the social media era, they took the whole airwave. They lied to the country. And the people bought that lies, that propaganda. It sank into them. Until they went to that police station, they made that ugly decision. They let go the Prince Johnson all the day. They play on all the day. The men that protected Prince Johnson from the war crime coup. They make him from Washington, D.C. They pressure George Weah. He ran from the airport. The videos are there. The international community say, okay, we want Prince Johnson. George Weah said, no, now how come I live among you here? Are you causing the Liberian civil war? How Chancellor got free from the Boston prison? Who tell Chancellor to get out of the Boston prison at that time to bring the civil war? You're here all in a cookie jar. I'm here to develop my country. We're not here to, I'm not breaking no war. He's selling in our faces. I'm not here to bring war crime code. We get better thing to solve, not the war crime code, but the war crime code will not happen on my watch. It can be on a different person's watch, but as long I get that power in the Republic of Liberia, the people that put me in power, I'm not breaking no war crime code. They also why he made. And then since he made that statement, it never intentionally to bring the war crime code. The same United Party were talking about the war crime code because they saw Prince Johnson leaning on the side of the CDC. But Prince Johnson never had the ego. I'll be honest here, he never had a vision. The men that protected you because of mere propaganda and smear. You bastard the president. You believe because you were the godfather of Nima Kante. You marry a crew woman. The men that were protecting the whole corridor. All these guys, the king, for the war crime code, they bombard George Weah. George Weah says it's not on my watch. Why Ellie never dragged Prince Johnson there? She was here. She was here, sitting here, president. Prince Johnson was in the house. Why you never pressure her to bring the war crime code or let she drag Prince Johnson? But me, as a native man, it would never happen on my watch. We're solving different form. They play like politics today. They came to power. They frustrated Prince Johnson. Allen Wedding King, you can remember the first Allen Wedding King to work out. We need Prince Johnson now. We need him. We need him. All that tension we got is sickness. Prince Johnson died from sickness. But the only sad part of our country, and I blame the Nibalian people, I will be honest here, the Nima caucus. To this date, nobody know who killed Prince Johnson, no autopsy. Jeremiah Kun, right president of the Republic. Let me tell you something. The politics, Jeremiah Kun should never have the Nima Kante people vote. Never. Never. To that reality. Because he's a vice president. The old man pick his hand and take him. The old man could take different person for Nima Kante. Take different laptop person, smart person. But he took Jeremiah Kun from nowhere. He never saw it coming. Then the man died. Honor your watch. Then as a vice president, you get over $2 million budget. Then you do up to say what you do nothing to say. Let me bring people here to know what killed my godfather. Let put this into rest. Today, nobody say the man fell or they playing fire. We don't know. It was sad. Look, if the Nibalian people ready zero, Jeremiah Kun will never even get one vote for that country. You think the Lovian can do that? The Lovian will do that? It can never happen. It can never happen. They cannot know what killed Prince Johnson. What the Nima caucus? What the Nima caucus? It's sad, man.
As you say this, it just leads me to a point to remind our people. Okay, bye. It just leads me to a point to remind our people on who the Unity Party really is. And that's why we continue to advise people. Some will not believe it. Some will not take it until they find themselves in the uncomfortable position. These guys from the Unity Party, they are noted for using people.
Yes.
They will use you. That's what they are good at. They will use you to be able to accomplish their mission. Once that mission is accomplished, they are done with you. We are seeing it around. Look, for example, Grand Cape County, my own county, that we went there and people were brave enough to say, oh, the Unity Party we lean into. At the end of the day, guess what happened?
They killed our sons and daughters.
Was the first county that they sent their massacre to.
Yes.
As I speak to you today, the big mountain that is operating, they are taking money and investing it in other counties and not in the county. Grand Cape County continue to remain jealous on 1816 village. The place that they are operating, they don't even have correct hospital for the people.
But Kula Fofana is sitting, they get the ear of the president now. They cannot put that country first. They get the ear of the president. Mo Ali, they came from that side as a claim. They get the ear of the president. And the president won Grand Cape County. He won Grand Cape. The Grand Cape people gave him a vote. Then they get the ear of the president. Why they cannot tell the president, say no. Every country, where the mineral coming from, that country shall benefit the any other country. That's why God planted that mineral air. If it belongs to for the Republic of Liberia, but majority stake in that mineral belong to the people of Grand Cape County. Let me tell you something today. If the Grand Cape people come together, they can tension the government. They say, listen, your beer mountain thing, they're not coming from here. We're not letting it happen yet. It can be your syrup. The government will bow down to them to say, okay, they come to an agreement. The hard lot of concession agreement here happening in the Western world. Lot of the places you see the oil depot they coming from the places they coming from Nigeria. You go play with these kind of places, eh? You go play with these kind of people. You think what Nima fighting for that side? The high is gonna be that part of it that the blessing God gave that particular era. It belongs to the country, but because of their heavy share there. And that people should be implored to that particular place, the high work. They should get a first priority to be implored. Every community in the Western world, if you live in that community, the community get a lot of companies. Those are in that community get employed first. First, that's a privilege. Be employed. If a community get like 10 different companies or 20 different countries in the Western world that we live here, you that live in that community, you're bound to get job there. That's it. Before other person, the high left goes. But they are bound, the people that are sitting at the ear of the president, they're from Grand Cayman County. Your sister Kula Fofana that can say, and Paka will not do no small project. But they were fighting on all the project of George Weah. He said, Paka will not do no small project. Building tower, deliver water tower, and he said, Paka will not do no small project. The people naked, Prince. I always say the Unity Party is naked. Seriously, they're looking for that clothes to wear. They ain't get no clothes on. It's 2 years plus now. We'll also be in the rainy season.
Our mind controls us.
Sure, and you know, and talking about this, my brother, I listening to some folks from Nimba these few days when the protest was organized by those African workers. And I was listening to a guy in a chat room. The guy said, some of us, we put our lives on the line for the Unity Party because these guys told us that the whole thing that was happening in Nimba with the concession is, in fact, the people not correct. They were going to make sure the people move from here. They were going to bring a company that will take care of us. They were going to bring a company that will be able to seek our welfare and etc. And some of us, because of this, because we know that this is the mining fee that we are into, a better company will come. He said, we believe them. And we went all out there to convince our people. We did things that were unorthodox to give these people their vote. But at the end of the day, when Joseph Nimo Boakai became president, he told us that the Ashland Metal was the best thing that ever happened to Liberia. And at the end of the day, they even turned their back on us. He said to the extent that some of the opportunity that we even had in the previous government of President Weah, now it has been cut off from us. This guy said before, the people used to give us some safety equipments. But right now, they're not even there. When they give you one, that's it. You use it for almost, it's up to you to go and buy your own. Because when you use it, it's for, before, we that used to get like two sets of these safety equipment, it's time to even get a one that wore, to get a one that wore. The man said, we went to talk and the people brought police on us, fire at us. The government, ministry of labor, these guys don't even care about us. When they come here, they don't even look our way. They enter straight in these people's offices. They don't even look at us. What we are going through.
Premier, ask you one question. I will go there. Me, I let you shoot the shot. Prince, the Lofa Defense Force. The Lofa Defense Force during our time of war. What the Lofa Defense Force were established for?
To protect the people of Lofa.
Yeah, to protect the people of Lofa.
Yeah.
The same way that the Ulimo K were established to protect the Muslim people, according to Alhaji G.V. Nkrumah, when they celebrated a few days of a death whatsoever, and many years have passed. Okay, let me say something to you here, Prince. Let Liberian people go read back. Let it go. We saw this Liberian Civil War. Most of only the new generation, most of them see the Liberian Civil War. The Liberian Civil War, one of the most deadliest civil war in the West Africa, one of the deadliest civil war in Africa. reality to see the number of people that die. Or less population country, small population. The real statistic, not the real statistic the United Nations or the world gave us, they gave to us. For me, I believe over 300,000 people died during that saber crisis. Brothers kill brothers. For what? For the same hatred that embedded in our DNA, lies and propaganda, smear. I can still remember vividly when we were growing up, the Daily Observer, all the newspaper in the corridor of the country. At that time, there was no social media at that time. They pay all these media institutions to spread that gibberish. Every way day you wake up, you see all the newspaper. That brought at that time, glued to newspaper at that time. There was no other outlet to find information from. Either they read it from the news or you get a newspaper. We fought that brutal civil war. Let me tell you something. Let me tell Liberians something. They must check, they must fact check anything here. That reality stories are there. Let me ask you, Prince Johnson Armed Forces, MPF, RMPF, whatsoever. Okay, I'm gonna call it RMPF. All of them were together before. The MPF, the Charles Taylor, the Prince, all of them were together. Let me ask you, Prince Johnson ever went in Lofa County? Prince Johnson ever captured Lofa County?
No,
let me tell you something.
It was far off his range.
Let me tell you something. The people protected their own county. I forget that leader that died. Forget the Lofa defense leader. I forget his name at all. I had a name, but I forget it. Anybody that in the comment, if they know the name, they can mention that name.
Talking about Francois Massacre?
Thank you. Thank you, Prince. Thank you. You're a man of history. That's the man. Joseph Boakai was part of the Lofa defense force. Part of it. They were doing anything to bring arm from that Sevelon border. And the reality, facts. Joseph Boakai never sent Prince Johnson any day. Never, ever until his death. But Prince Johnson was, I want to tell you all here, when Joseph Boakai, I tell people here, when Joseph Boakai said, I would dance with the devil to get to power. There were no extra devil Liberian people. You take the video. Joseph Boakai was not talking about no other devil. No. The devil Joseph Boakai was talking about, he was taking on. He said, I would dance with Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson told Joseph Boakai was a devil. He couldn't send that devil. He said, I would dance with the devil to come to power. There's no other devil sitting on the side of reality. You do wait. What if you think that real devil, what people are talking about? No, the devil. Joseph Boakai was talking about Yellow Johnson. He was a devil. Let me say how they disgrace the devil before he died. Let me tell you. Me as I get ego out, Prince. You remember United Party had I think rally. Prince Johnson came on that part. The videos are there, Liberian. I think I to introduce Jeremiah Kun. He went on the People United Party. When he wore a rare beret, a IMPF rare beret that he kept for many years. He kept that beret for decades for decades, yes. Even kept that beret in Nigeria during that time. On the United Party podium. Go to video Liberian people. Prince Johnson wore that beret in front of Joseph Boakai to bring his son Jeremiah Kun. Okay, he said, but I finished with the devil. I get the devil. This is the devil that I'm talking about. Liberian people, there's no other devil. You shouldn't be gullible. The old man was speaking different thing. It's not the devil you're thinking on. Not a Satan devil thing. No. Joseph Boakai didn't know no Satan. The devil he came to power with. He danced with our Prince Johnson. He believed Prince Johnson was the devil in the Republic of Liberia. So when you get to power, they will get rid of the devil. And today they got rid of the devil. In what type of phone you think? The devil got rid of that devil. But Prince Johnson was the devil you are talking about. He made a statement to bring that's devil. The Prince Johnson king as the devil. And what's the devil today? He no more. Nima is not Wait, you think the United Party will do anything for Nima Kante? You think they may know what they call Nima Kante? Wait, when Jeremiah Kunenya just sit down, when some people say Jeremiah Kunans, we are son of Nima Kante, I can believe it for Tutu. Maybe he born there or he grew up there. We are traditional Nima people, what we know, we all are Liberian. Everybody get tied to counties. Everybody, I get tied to county. Everybody get tied. You get, look, they may acting like, okay, Jeremiah, look at them praying. And Uncle probably will come on it. Jeremiah Kun, the main czar for the yellow machine. The main two czar, head of the yellow machine and the bread and butter issue in the country. The president appointed him, he said, okay, you hear go negotiate for yellow machine. What happened, Prince? Who they put in head of the yellow machine?
Brownie Samuka.
Thank you from Lofa County. He buried the other man. Now, man, Brahma Samuka will be making every year to maintain this thing $4 million. $4 million a year. A year to maintain the yellow machine things and maintenance whatsoever. 4 more years. That much 16 million. $16 million for taxpayer money. You know Brahma Samuka is? There are retirement packages in there. Look, look at they're very smart, they're calculating. I say, when I tell you things here, you can be arguing with me. This guy, they're calculating beyond Buaka. It's not about Buaka 2029. I challenge anybody. I will keep my video name. They are preparing a retirement packages, pension packages now, pension funds there, quietly. $18 million in 4 years time to take care of yellow machine maintenance or whatsoever fuel. Nama Mamu Samuka, the sector of bill. Special thing. You forget about the Ministry of Public Works. Why Jeremiah Kun cannot talk? I dare Jeremiah Kun to talk. Is that Jeremiah Kun muting the country? This a vice president say he's a old car parking too. That reality.
Yeah.
They used to be causing law. He's an old car parking too. The president parking. The president just can't fool the Liberian people are making here for the bread and butter issue. I'm making ZAR for yellow machine. The yellow machine entered the country, they brought somebody from Lofa County to become the chair, to chair the whole yellow machine. $4 million per year. $4 million. Kafane will put it in the budget now that I brought on them. I said the guys are preparing beyond Joseph Yima Bwaka. Prince, I always break it down to Liberian people. I'm here now. I'm the nursing apostle. I'm here. We don't preach propaganda. It's true. Yeah, we lay video. You know why we don't preach propaganda yet? Because George will rule the country before. We're not in the wind to bring somebody, the main tangible, the fingerprint, all in the country. That will compare everything. Compare the 6 year, or the 12 year with Unity Party. Georgia 6 year, and that part of balance 6 year. Then the player will make the decision. So yeah, when I hear to come during that time, they put all that sorry on the social media to lie in the corridor of the Liberian people. The Henry Costa, they all of them were all over Bombay, doing all kind of things, lies. They came to power. They came to power today. But here we're relaying video. So Jeremiah Kun, I just look at him. You think 2020, when Baka survive and live for 2029, you think Jeremiah Kun will be the vice presidential candidate? Never. When you take this to the bank, the president will change him. They will change him. He'll be 86.
In fact, the whole thing here is that, Jake, let us look at what is happening. These people have consistently failed. Jeremiah Kun was placed in a position by the president to address a committee to head this issue of the bread and butter. So go investigate, give us a recommendation. Since that committee was formed, we're going to a year. Where are we?
Nothing. Over 6 months now.
Over 6 months? Nothing.
Yeah. You see, the president calculated. Let me tell you something. I think Joseph Bakana novice. The papa is smart. Let me tell you something today. the public know that he will fail. He said, let me gain a tattoo, let me gain a high agenda. Let me gain, he even get to the finance minister, all these people now. Commerce minister, they want to be talking about bread and butter issue, finance minister. Now I can't say we buy bread, put it in the butter, we share with you. Because they don't know what they call the bread and butter issue. They don't really know they don't know that thing what they call the bread and butter issue. So they gain that task 6 months and the president said about they may solve the bread and butter issue. Well, so he's an old car parking now.
Sure. In fact, it's worse.
You were only dressing the yellow clothes. Let me tell you something here. If somebody could really interview Jeremiah and be sincere to himself, he battled already. No way he go on the final side. Kavanaugh closing. You think the United Party, that stupid people, you think they want for Jeremiah to be so close to the president? And they know he looking at the presidency? They will do everything trying to protect the president. So you think the United Party will bring Jeremiah close that he eyeing the presidency, that anything happen to the president, he'll become president, then tomorrow he will silence all of them?
We are getting an information here, my brother Jake, and I just want to say this here.
Okay.
That Solomon George is no more.
He no more?
Yeah, according to what I'm seeing, I've been checking it. That's why you saw I was on the phone. I've been checking all over, and the news that I'm getting right now is that Solomon George.
Just say alleged.
Yeah.
Yeah, just use alleged for our platform because we confirm it here.
Sure. From what we are, getting here, it's like Solo is no more, allegedly, what I see. All of this stuff, that's what I keep checking.
Sad news. Wow, that's a breaking news.
Yeah, I was on my phone and keep checking.
Come in.
I saw this, it broke my heart down. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing this too on the Vision online stuff. Here is it we looking at. I don't know, but that's what we're looking at. Yeah, brother Jake, I think, I don't know, but I will want to appeal to you and to all of us that we just,
Million silent.
That we just.
I know the man. How was a million silent, brother?
Yeah, Solomon George. He said
I only hear a profile. He was once on CDC. One George Weah good friend. And later on, when the government changed him, he changed on the president.
Yeah, Solomon George, has been there for some time. I don't know. I will want to see.
So let me ask you, what you reading from? I know Vision News. Anything Vision bring on, maybe it can be real. Vision fast forward most of the time. And like online TV Vision, they get a great source right. Let me ask you, Prince. He was sick.
Well,
he died for frustration. He died for frustration.
Oh, man.
Let me tell you something. That what made me different from you. That why I follow the greatest president on earth. That my own, Donald J. Trump. Let me tell you something, Prince. The country weak. We are a weak society. That why today, somebody can go kill you and miss you, then you say you're letting go. That why our society that today. Let me tell you, I'm from Europe. My whole doctrine from Europe, I get Italian mentality, German, all kind of mixed mentality here in the Western world. Because when the war came, some of our way we grew up here, we spend decades in this country. We're getting older now. I got different. I don't think the way people can think anymore because why? You do me evil, I do you evil too. Let me tell you the truth. That godly mentality. Let me tell you something. People say they can't be with, they can't bash the dead. Who told you so they can't bash the dead? They bad Jesus Christ. They demean the Jesus Christ. What
No,
you are talking about?
my brother Jake, I beg you, I would just want us to just, you know,
Okay, let's leave it. I will not go
just,
there.
you know,
For the
I want us
respect
to
sake.
just close. Yeah, I want us to just let me just take your parting comment and let's close the show. You know,
Oh, for the maybe okay, no problem.
yeah, let's, you know,
But let me not
let's
see the man.
commence.
The
We'll
man left your
commence.
party.
Yeah, we'll commence this evening. This evening will be on.
Okay, the evening will come
Now,
back. Okay.
this evening,
Liberian people,
you know.
we're closing the show because we had I
Yeah,
just
so
all
fellow
this here
Liberians,
talking Liberian, I just joking here. I
you
just
know,
joking. You know, in your feelings too. So that's it. It's like a
so you know,
joke. So as I see you say we should close it because that's somebody he knows a lot, he know good. And the person was tied to the CDC from beginning of the revolution. So it's a sad day for the CDC
yeah,
people. So it's a personal question to judge. We are personal person disregard a political tune. But how left goes sometimes. Some people probably he was sick. For me, he was sick. For me, he was. But let me just say something before we close. Let me say this
yeah,
to the followers. Thank you. The photo in Kim they brought the photo. Prince, I always say this here to the Liberian people here because I know a lot of things about science, medicine. Prince, I will tell you today, facts. Prince, they get millions of Liberians living with sickness in the Republic of Liberia. They don't even do checkup. They don't do checkup. The Bible don't say, the Bible don't tell you all, they say, when people can say left is short, it'll baffle me. Eh? Left is not short, eh? That lie is a myth. Eh? Left is long. Your destiny lies in your own hand. Liberian people don't do checkup. This is a country that I know that nobody don't do medical checkup. The sickness will get into us. Years and years, they will destroy our immune system because we don't do checkup. They go again. They after if you it destroy, they it lit. Then you say, oh, the person died from which person. But everybody in the Republic of Liberia, majority, I say over 1 million, 2 million don't do checkup. They don't do it. They don't do it. Even Liberians are living outside the Western world where they have privileges to medicine and other things. They have for them to go to the hospital after 7, 8 months. Go to your doctor. Go check, do checkup. Your doctor keeps secret or diagnose you upon your medication. But people don't do checkup. Yeah, so all these surprising things and just come up, you go low. Well, and if a factual, I say less. So that have supporter to the CDC and personal person to the former president. It will be a sad news. Just regard a last lineage to the opposition now. But CDC still believe in him. They still know he part of them. They will give that olive branch. Whatsoever Georgia will take charge. I trust him. The president will take charge in case anything. He will sympathize with him. So the hand left goes Prince. So that's my parting. That's my parting statement. You check. Go do check on Liberians. That's my
sure.
parting.
So fellow Liberians, you know, I understand like Dauda is saying he was no longer part of us. I agree with you, you know.
Oh, somebody saying it
Uh,
too, eh?
yeah, I agree with you, Dauda. We have the latest of his, you know, whatever. But again, you know, at certain point in time, you know, he associated with us, and you know, uh, this is somebody that you know, one way or the other. I understand, but it's connected to you know the political leader, and you know, the political leader, His Excellency President George Manuel Weah, is a human person. He's a human person. If this man can imagine, if this man can look at Iyeke, who insulted him dinner, breakfast, and supper, and say, "Look, we are one Liberian," and shook his hand. If this man can look at somebody like Costa, who
Mm-hmm.
said he will get gone, he will drag this man, he will do this, and still shook this man's hand. If this man can look at Oprah, who insulted him for dinner, breakfast, supper, and even midnight, and say, "This is my late brother," and shook his hand, how much more than Ejiofor Solo?
Yeah, it's true.
So President Weah is not that kind of man.
Yeah, but
Vindictive.
Ejiofor Solo too broad George Weah ought to.
Yeah, but President Weah said it at a certain point
Yeah,
in time.
President Weah said it too. Yeah.
Live with him, So, fellow Liberians, I hope you understand this. I agree with you, but to some of us, so some of you don't know. I live in West Point. We grew up in plenty area. Live in West Point. I live plenty area. So some of these people, we know them. I mean, personally, we know them even before becoming who they are. We knew these people. Yeah, we knew these people. So we ask that, uh, as for
So
respect.
you're not going your show tonight, your King's
No,
FM show?
no, we'll be there. We'll be there. We just want to, something this at least for a moment while we
Okay,
translate.
okay. Yeah, we'll
Thank you
come
so
back
much.
now. We'll come back. We'll come back later.
This
Yeah.
evening will be on. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. So thanks to
Okay.
all.
I will
And
follow
again,
us.
let's pray for the family. It's a tough time. Solomon George is gone. He's no more. And our deepest condolences to the family. On this note, my people, I want to say bye.
Bye-bye.
We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money, that I beg them. The money should be used to bless our people. Thank you, and God bless.